28 years ago, Ashley Kriel, a 20-year-old South African activist, was killed by police in Cape Town. It is stories like his that are being told by the continent's growing film industry. CNBC Africa's Benedict Parther spoke to a filmmaker to find out more.
This is Flamboom Road in Bonteheuwel in Cape Town. It's a street Nadine Kluti often visited to create her first independent feature film about a man who grew up in this house. The street's rich with stories that she has turned into celluloid.
I was working for a production company called Rainbow Circle Films, who did a documentary on Anton Franz, who was also an activist from this area, from Bonteheuwel. And then when I saw, they had archive footage of Ashley, and when I saw Ashley speak, yeah, I just sent shivers up and down my spine.
And we, since Nelson Mandela, we had decided to fight and to use that with all the means at our disposal.
Compassion and passion that he had, and I just felt like, how can we not know about somebody like this? And so from that moment onwards, I felt like, I really just want to tell this guy's story.
The idea became the film Action Kommandant, the story of Ashley Kriel, an activist growing up on the tough streets of Cape Town in the dangerous days of apartheid South Africa.
Ashley grew up in Bonteheuwel. He grew up in that house specifically, and did a lot of work, obviously, in the area, and this is where he was conscientized and you know, and where he recruited people into the anti-apartheid struggle. And so I feel like the Cape Flats is always painted in a certain way in mainstream media, and people who come from the Cape Flats, and I feel like the story of Ashley Kriel is so important because it's just totally different from what we hear about areas like Bonteheuwel.
The award-winning filmmaker began making movies in high school and hasn't looked back. She says it's a tough industry, but wants to remain independent to maintain intellectual property. One of her films is this one, called Miseducation.
My naam is Kriel en ek is 12 jaar oud.
You're creative, but now you're forced to think business-minded as well. And also that one of the challenges is if you don't have this big budget, as an independent person, you're into doing everything. Like you're researcher, production manager, directing and producing, and some editing your own work sometimes as well.
Nadine's being helped by government tax rebates for young filmmakers. These have also boosted the quality of South Africa's film production and made Cape Town a little Hollywood in Africa. It means older hands like Philip Key are dealing in big budget movies in their backyard.
As an industry, we've learned to take from the experience that we've got from the foreign industry and move it into the local industry. And that goes across the board, from technical skills, from visual effects to effects on set, to crew, to writing, and many aspects of the foreign industry we've managed to divert into the local. And I think the quality of local production is enhanced immeasurably as a result.
The list is growing. Mad Max Fury Road and the Avengers Age of Ultron all shot scenes in South Africa, resulting in skills transfer and millions in foreign revenue. Every year, South Africa's film industry contributes 3.5 billion rand, or around $300 million, to the country's GDP, and supports 25,000 jobs.
From the period 2009-10 to 2014-15, we approved and supported 490 productions with a total incentive of about 2.7 million. And that has leveraged basically, production in South Africa valued at about 11.3 billion. So this incentive has been the basis on which we have managed to secure an international destination knowledge. Many international films which are currently on circuit are made here in South Africa.
One of those productions is Action Kommandant, that will be released later this year. Not only does it show Africans are telling their own stories, but flourishing while doing so. Benedict Parther reporting for CNBC Africa, Cape Town.